Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this episode of Inspirational Muslims, I will be interviewing Sir Iqbal Sacranie. Sir Iqbal is the founding Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Britain, which was established in 1997. He served there as Secretary General for several years. He was honored with an Officer of the Order of the British Empire in 1999 and was knighted by the Queen in 2005. Sir Iqbal is the chairman of Global Property Investments. He is also the chairman of the Board of Trustees at Balham Mosque and Tooting Islamic Center and the Risalaah Education Trust. He is currently also serving as a senior advisor to the Muslim Council of Britain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Iqbal bhai, thank you so much for making the time to speak with us today. Iqbal bhai, I've known you for a little while now, mashallah, and you've certainly been an inspiration to me. And I'm sure the people who you know, you've been an inspiration to them as well, mashallah. But how would you describe yourself for the audience, and what are your main focuses on at the moment?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Likewise, it's a pleasure meeting you again and involved in that short interview that you have been asking for some time. The easiest way to describe me, I'm a very simple, straight person who has been fortunate to have been brought up in a family that values the importance of respect to your deen and a hardworking person in terms of business. So some people describe me as a social worker, some people have described as a community activist, but I'm certainly not a politician where some people think I am. So my life over the last, I'm grateful to our Creator to have given me the opportunity to serve with a number of institutions and organizations over the last 40 years, primarily involved with community work.
MashaAllah. Iqbal bhai, you've no doubtedly been through so many challenges in your life to date. What would you say has been your greatest challenge to date, and how did you overcome this?
Well, in life, one faces many challenges as you go through. But when I came into the UK, it now was nearly 50 years ago, and my involvement in colleges and then going into professional work, one thing I experienced is that because of my color of my skin or the faith that I come from, there was not that due recognition in terms of equality of treatment. And so that from a very early age, I felt that's a major challenge which we need to deal with.
Yes.
I cannot be treated as a second-class citizen.
Absolutely.
Or treated as a person who can be on the fringe. My faith is a mainstream faith, and I'm proud to be a Muslim on that basis. And it tries to guide and protect me in my way of work throughout the lives. May not be a great Muslim in terms of my many areas of activities, but however, I believe the beliefs in the importance of our faith and the teachings of our faith in terms of the teaching of the Holy Quran and the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So that has been my key area, that there is no way, because of the color of my skin or the faith, that I can be treated as a second-class citizen on the fringe. And over the years, most of my activities have been to ensure and to lobby for equal treatment in life, like anybody else.
Alhamdulillah. And Iqbal, by nicely segueing into this, and so what do you feel has been your greatest achievement to date that's close to your heart? You've overcome so many challenges that even my own father went through as well. What would you feel has been to date been your greatest achievement?
Well, when we talk about achievement, we need to be very clear that no individual has such power or esteem through which one can say, I achieved this. Achievement, first of all, only comes in from the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah wills, then we get that success. And when He doesn't will, that success doesn't come through, is also a better way of moving forward as well. So one is to accept that very important fact. But the other key point comes in that I've been privileged to work with a number of people together. from very early stage of my community work, whether it's the mosque committees or organizational committees or international organizations where I sit on the boards and whatever. It's the collective effort. And that is what has brought the success, if one can regard in terms of success in achieving things in life, for the betterment of the community and for ourselves, then it is that collective effort that has given us a success. And one of the key areas of success, I believe, alhamdulillah, which Allah had given to us, is some way towards ensuring that the Muslim community and the Muslims in the UK and in Europe are treated much more fairly and equally than they were 20, 30 years ago. And we have been involved in lobbying for changes in legislation, which has taken place in terms of race discrimination, religious discrimination, incitement to religious hatred. All this allows us to be treated at par with the society that we live in.
Absolutely, that's beautiful. May Allah increase the barakah and everything you're doing and accept all the great efforts that you've done, mashallah. Iqbal bhai, who would you say, like, at different times of our lives we have different role models that come in our life to shape and influence and inspire us. Who would you say has left a mark on you, like has been your most prevalent role model?
There are few people in life that you have met and come across who have a huge impact on the way that we conduct ourselves. Of course, as a Muslim, I think the greatest role model for all of us is our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Right? His seerah, his life is truly an inspiration for every Muslim, that to attain success in this world and the Akhirah is to follow the role model that we have in front of us. However, we have read about him and we try to follow as much as we through his messages that have come through to us in different forms. But my late father, I believe, has been a key person that has enabled me to carry out the work in this life. He was a person, again, dedicated his life to quite a bit of community work from where we come from Malawi. He was deeply involved in helping the underprivileged and the poor in the community. He himself was an orphan from a very young age, coming from a very poor family. And mashallah, from a very early age, he had a huge responsibility. And the way he was able to look after his young brother and sister, and then progressed in life to an extent that Allah gave him that respect and esteem in the community as one of the most respected persons in the country. And he's, again, the way on a very similar level, ensuring that Islam was respected and treated at par in the country where we come from, Malawi, from a very early age, where the Muslim population was around 30 to 40%, whereas not a single Muslim was to be seen in any position of power or in politics or in community work. So that was one of the key points that he worked in his lives to ensure that the Africans in that country were given that responsibility and were not simply discriminated because of their faith. And that was an early day that really gave me that real impetus to ensure that we are all equal, irrespective of what color, background, or our financial information we come from. So today people discriminate on different bases, and sadly being materialistic is a major concern in life, that if people are well off and if they are rich or if they have affluence that comes in somehow, that they are somehow of a better person than the rest of the community, which is not the case. So my late father has certainly been a huge role model for me in our lives. And in terms of the other figures that I see that has had a huge impact is, of course, Qaeda-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan. I've read about him quite a bit, and the more I read of him, the more I study the whole issue of Pakistan, the way it was created. Surely that was one person that has left a huge impact in terms of what we can achieve in our life. An impossible situation where to attain the first Muslim country based on the principles of the Quran, the creation. How Pakistan then develops another matter, but its seed and the way the intention were there are something of a supreme nature to all of us. And he's one person certainly who has been a great inspiration to me.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah preserve your father and give him Jannah Firdaus, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give Jannah Firdaus a Qadi as well, inshallah. Bye, all of us, live in a challenging world, a chaotic world, and got so much things that we try to achieve, in the limited time that we have. And you're certainly an example of a person who's super productive. Allah Mubarak. How do you deal with stress? And what are your Iqbal Sacranie's ways of dealing with stress? Because there's so much anxiety, depression is on the rise at the moment, and the world's in chaos.
This is, of course, every, I think, human being cannot escape this sort of aspect of our daily life where we have to deal with stress in one way or the other, whether it is family, it's business, it's community, there are different levels. If I could say I've been blessed from all angles, the stress level has been pretty high. But it is something which is remarkable and very difficult to explain. That in spite of the fact that, I work under huge pressure, and there have been occasions where 24/7, literally I used to sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. That was my time, because there was so much of reading, so much of preparation. And yet when I put my head to the pillow, I was gone with Allah's grace. This is something that I think has helped me because I believe that my belief in our Creator, in Almighty Allah, that whatever efforts we do, we do not, be guaranteed for success. But it's our efforts, our duty to put that effort. Allah tells us in different ways in the Holy Quran, and we have heard from different hadiths that, Tamaruna bil Ma'ruf, Nahi anil Munkar, your role is to convey the good message and to avoid the pitfalls and the dangers that are in life, and that the least we could do, right? And if we believe in that, then that surmounts the pressure that we have. Yes. Because then ultimately, of course, as human beings, you always want to see that you are successful in whatever you're doing, but to accept that, that is good for us, irrespective of the result, is a great, thinking and state of mind. So that enables us to live in a normal way and a stress-free level. I think that's fundamental. And of course, your daily routine, your prayers, reading the Holy Quran on a daily basis, your relationship with your family, that enables us to live in that way. So yes, you minimize that stress level through these aspects which we have been told by our scholars, and of course through the teaching of the Quran, that these aspects of work you do in life, helping the needy, helping the poor, serving humanity, all this gives you huge satisfaction that combats that stress that one feels in normal life.
So beautifully articulated, Babai. I would like to ask you, so we talked about the stress levels and the beautiful way you articulated the many ways that we can combat that. If you could go back to your former 18-year-old self and advise him, what would you advise him now? If you could go back and...
One is always, ambitious in doing more than one could do. And that's one of my setbacks, I believe. Perhaps I should have restricted in terms of activities, try to limit myself. I've got a great weakness in a way that when I see something, a great opportunity there to do something good, not necessarily, most of my, alhamdulillah, most of my life involved with community and charities, and both national, international, have been only entirely voluntary basis. And that is to seek the pleasure of our Creator. That has been the intention from day one. But then Allah tells us that you take everything in stages. You do sort of, don't overburden yourself.
Yeah.
After all, we are part of the Aman of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every part of our body. We have rights over ourselves, rights over our family, rights over community in which we live in. And that imbalance that I had created over the period of time is something that I would not want to repeat. And then be fair to your family first and foremost. It's very important. They should not never be in a position to show that they didn't have the chance to see you in their time when the children are growing up. And likewise, your complaints from your wife and others would be minimal if you give them enough time on it. And you would do your business work as well, which everybody would want to do in life. So I think that is something which I would avoid. Perhaps, have a proportion to each aspect of my daily life, which is what I think Islam teaches us in moderation, everything to be done in a reasonable way. And I think there will be a greater success if one disciplines oneself in that area.
So there's a lot of wisdom in that. Jazakallah khair. Baba, I'm sure a lot of the audience watching would want to reach out to you and get involved or ask for your advice, maybe and mentorship, and perhaps even reach out to you for other opportunities that they have that maybe you can help in, and vice versa. So if the audience, what is the best way that they can actually reach out to you, or would be your preferred method?
Well, my preferred method is better through communication through a letter or email, would be a better way. My email address is Rahina, RAHEENA, rahina@glotex.co.uk. So that's the best line of communication to me.
Perfect. Jazakallah khair so much, Iqbal bhai. It was a pleasure and a really beautiful experience to have the opportunity to interview you.
It was a pleasure being with you as well, and we hope and pray that Allah gives us further strength to do the important work in life, that we all have to do it. And in that way, we are going through huge challenging times around the world, but we must remain optimist as a Muslim. We have to, that is one key point, a key ingredient of, I think, success in life. To remain optimist as a Muslim, we cannot remain anything else other than being optimist. And if your intentions are clear, if you're working collectively with a proper niyyah, then we can be guaranteed of success from our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Ameen. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the interview. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're alerted as we upload more inspirational Muslim videos.